Still here on Market Street at the Chili's, and I've run into someone who is, her name is?
Lucinda.
And she supports?
Obama.
And would you like to tell me why, please?
Because he can, one, I trust him. Two, he can bring back,
I'm sorry, what was that?
Integrity. And he can make us feel good about our country once again. I also believe he's the only one that can do something about the healthcare situation.
Why do you believe that?
Well, one, the Democrats platform, and I do believe that he will do his best.
Why?
It's called a matter of trust.
Why do you trust him?
Just, I do.
Well, you know what?
It's an intent.
What would you say to somebody who said they trust John McCain?
I think they're an idiot.
Why?
Why? Because what has he done to prove your trust?
What has Barack Obama done to prove your trust?
You know what? He's done a lot for his community back in Chicago.
Where?
In Illinois.
No, I know where Chicago is, but tell me, tell me what he's doing.
You're asking me a tough question.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I just, but what has he done for Chicago that makes you believe that he's going to?
I just think he's okay. Sometimes you have to go by. He has a good heart. He's organized groups.
A lot of people say about George Bush that he has a good heart. What's different from that?
He has a black heart. Sometimes it isn't intangible.
But about George Bush, you can say he has a black heart because he's a murdering thug and he sent people into Iraq to die for no other reason. And,
right.
Yeah, whatever you can say. But okay. But that's fine, right? But what can you say about Barack Obama? Conversely, they would lead you to believe that he has a good heart.
I just think anyone that came from that, grew up in Kansas too. He's worked his way up. Sometimes it's a gut feeling you have.
When did Barack Obama get involved in politics?
He got involved officially probably in the late 90s when he was running for state senate. But, politics at the grassroots level, community level, after he graduated from Harvard Law School, was teaching at Harvard, knows the Constitution better than anyone else does.
Why would you say that?
Support that.
Why would you say that? Huh? So what are some of the? I'm sorry, and we can stop anytime you're uncomfortable. But what are Barack Obama's policy objectives that you really support? Like you say he wants to do.
On health care, all children will be covered under Barack Obama's plan. He's incrementally trying to find a way. I mean, I think it should be single payer. Actually, Hillary had a good plan.
How do you feel about socialized health care? Do you think that
they throw that word socialized out, which I think is really disturbing because socialized, even England, they'll call it socialized medicine, but it's not because you still have the option to pay more into a system to get extra coverage. That's not socialized medicine.
Okay.
I just think it's really disturbing when they talk about universal and socialized medicine being the.
Do you feel that a poor person ought to be allowed to go to the doctor for free in this country?
My brother, for one, works 40 hours a week, has no health care. My sister has no health care.
So what do they do when they get sick?
National Guard. They don't go.
Okay. Do you think Barack Obama is going to change all that?
I think we have a better chance of that happening under him than anyone else.
So it's not that he's going to change that. It's. How would you feel about the statement, the lesser of two evils is still evil?
He's not still evil.
Yeah.
He's not evil.
Yeah, okay. Well.
There's not even the lesser of two evils. I don't like that terminology. I think there's evil, which is good. We have evil in McCain, we have good in Barack.
Is Barack Obama advocating for a quick withdrawal from Iraq?
He's advocating for that.
Is he?
No, he's saying over 16 months. Same time frame that the Iraq government.
Well, would you say that the Iraqi government is under substantial pressure from the Bush administration at this point, and maybe that's why they?
Why would Bush and McCain have to be on the same? They seem to be on different pages right now.
Okay, I'm filming what looks like some sort of big camera interviewing people on the street. No, they're already doing this.
Why did you become? Because I knew it was going to be kind of
or anything, although I would like to know who you all are. If you don't mind, you can just give your first names.
We are the button sellers.
The button sellers for Barack. Are you all from Denver, or are you just in for the Boulder? Nice. And should I assume by the fact that you're selling Barack buttons that you support Barack Obama?
Absolutely.
Nice. What do you like about him?
His progressive politics.
What would you say those progressive politics are?
The fact that the next president won't have to think about clean energy.
Won't have to think about clean energy?
I mean, it won't have to be, how does it go? Clean energy won't be something that is second, first.
Clean energy won't be second first.
Sustainability.
Sustainable energy won't be second first.
Healthcare.
Where does what do you like about his stance on healthcare?
You know, it's about time in this country is free healthcare for everyone.
Does Barack Obama advocate for free healthcare?
No, he advocates for what is the word I'm trying to use?
Affordable healthcare.
Affordable.
But not free, right?
3 for 10.
3 for 10.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Oh, you're talking about selling the buttons. All right. Well, hey, thanks, y'all.
Oh, I thought you were going to interview us. You just want to...
I will. I will interview you en masse. I'm still here on the 16th Street in Denver. I've run across people who are selling some Denver Democratic National Convention shirts. I got one for... I haven't seen this one yet, but I think it's genius. Bronco Obama. Let me get that on the... What are you all doing out here? Do you work for any...
We're working for NKM Investments,
Uh-huh.
who have the idea to come down and do this, so we're down here selling shirts.
Do you all support any particular candidate here in the next election?
I think most of us are Obama.
And
Lovers.
And you can tell by the Bronco Obama.
I like it. That is probably the coolest T-shirt I've seen out here so far. Why do you all support Barack Obama?
We're Democrats.
Okay.
And we want the Republicans out.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it about the Democratic ticket that you think is better than the Republican ticket?
I think we've seen what the Republican ticket has done to our economy, and I think that's about the justification we need.
Well, go on. Be specific.
Our economy has fallen pretty bad.
We're in a recession. We're in a war that we can't get out of.
Is Barack Obama advocating a quick withdrawal from Iraq?
Not necessarily a withdrawal from Iraq, but mainly our economy and trying to do the best we possibly can to get us out.
Do you think we ought to be out of there tomorrow?
I don't think that's possible.
Why not?
We can't leave it a mess. We started it, and now it's a mess.
Right.
Nothing would change.
Do you think that?
There's a lot of people that were there.
Exactly.
Do you think that what the Iraqi people think ought to factor into whether or not we get out of there tomorrow?
Absolutely.
And what do the Iraqi people think, to the best of your knowledge?
Well, there's the faction that would love us out tomorrow, and there's the faction that needs us to stay. So.
Would you be astonished if I were to tell you that something along the lines of 70% of Iraqis want us out of there immediately?
I would enjoy hearing that. I
Well,
thought it was more
I'd believe it.
No, that is absolutely true.
Excellent.
Barack Obama also has not. Do you know anything about Blackwater? You know who Blackwater is?
No.
Blackwater is a mercenary group. For every fighting armed serviceman in Iraq, there is somebody who works for Blackwater. They're a mercenary group, and they those guys that got hung from the bridge in Fallujah. You remember that a few years ago before we. Let's see something. Oh. Let me see a couple more of those shirts if you don't mind. Oh, that's a good one. What do y'all charge for these?
The convention shirts are $10, 2 for 18, and the Bronco Obamas are 15.
I want one of those Bronco Obama shirts. All right, y'all.